podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand,
We have one brain that we share between us.
to talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D second edition podcast ever.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I know where you're going with it.
Okay.
Well, he does good character work. I like that. Hiya, folks. GM Glen here. How about that? DM Glen. It's episode 176 of THACO's Hammer. Almost said Glen and Friends. I don't know why, but it's THACO's Hammer with the usual crew. And there's Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hey folks, what's going on out there? That's our nickname that's started by our overlord Vince, Glen and Friends.
Who I saw last weekend.
Oh yeah, so I
Anyway.
saw.
Yeah. So we also got Full On Gamer. Full On Gamer. Hey.
Greetings,
bearded-
Gamer Nation!
The bearded one.
Yes, channeling his inner Obi-Wan. Yes.
DM Corey's also in the house.
Hi, I'm Corey. It's been 5 weeks since. Oh wait, wrong meeting. Hi guys, welcome back to THACO's Hammer.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh.
And of course me.
Yes.
So we've been sitting here talking gaming and flashing artwork to each other. Don't think that way.
Yeah. Get your mind out of the gutter, people.
Get your guys out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the gutter, and we'll go to hits and crits.
Well,
One thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly.
so?
They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate!
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and crits.
Hits and crits. Brian.
Yes,
what's
sir.
up?
Oh.
I heard you're getting a live. What's a live stream?
Yeah, that's the ambition. Let's see. It's been 2 months since the last time we all got together. Okay, quick update. The main thing is we're looking for a new place to live.
Okay.
Basically,
Have you tried not Detroit?
I'm not gonna live in Detroit. Dude, I would not live in Detroit on a bed. Are you crazy? And I'm black, so there it is. Actually, to be fair, Detroit's getting better, believe it or not. But no, I live like 30 minutes west of Detroit. But yeah, basically because ever since the pandemic, everyone is starting to get super greedy, and my apartment complex is raising the rent up to a point where I'm paying a ridiculous amount of money for a 2-bedroom apartment, and I need a 3-bedroom. So there it is.
You go, boy.
Yeah. I'm confident we'll find something by the end of summer. At least I hope so. Let's see. So that's the main thing going on. The other thing is I'm coming to you live from the new laptop that was given to me. And
Yay!
yeah, a really nice HP Envy. Not HP Envy. Oh, jeez, I forgot the name of the damn thing already.
That's what we.
But yeah,
that's what we have.
Yeah, it's a game. It's basically a gaming laptop. 32 gigs of
Nice.
memory.
Nice.
Decent processor. Like I think 4 gigabyte graphics card. So not bad.
Ooh.
It'll play. Yeah, it'll play pretty much every game that I have on my main system.
It
So
does the job.
it'll definitely do the job. So what's going to happen is that once I get everything squared away and we get a new place to live, we're probably going to cut the cord on the cable, which is kind of sad for me because I've had cable.
Get a Roku.
Yeah, we already have all that stuff. I've had cable television in my life literally since I was 10 years old, believe it or not. And So
I thought
now you're
it's
left.
tough.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be hard, but trust me, once you get about a month of just straight digital, you won't even miss it.
No, I'm at that point now. It's just it's just getting the gumption just to say go to Comcast and say I don't want this anymore. You can take it back and cut my bill in half. So so yeah, I'm gonna be. That's the plan, and then after we get probably the top tier internet that we can get, I'm probably gonna start streaming under the Confessions of an Arcade Addict podcast moniker, and I'll be streaming games and stuff like that. But that's still at least another several months down the road. What else? What else going on? Yeah, I've been messing around with the gold box games that I bought off Steam. That full on sort of goaded me into buying because I didn't really need to buy it, but I ended up buying it anyway. I just couldn't resist. I ended up spending $36 for the entire SSI run. That's all the gold box games, the silver box games.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
they're freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, they are. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of play in there, but of
Dude,
course,
I still kick open my emulator and play Menzo Barons on. Still.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it. That's probably arguably their best game. Even though some people probably would say it's Spelljammer, but whatever. But anyway, aside from that, just doing, working and things like that, things of that nature. My podcast, Confessions of an Arcade Addict, is still going. I'm going to probably be recording episode 56 tonight once my son goes to bed and everything's a little more quiet around here. And just doing the normal thing. That's just me.
I've already recorded my podcast today. Ha ha ha.
Well, yeah, but you do yours at once a day.
That's true, and it's hard sometimes. But anyway, full on. What's going on?
Well, still truck driving, going through the motions, getting no gaming done except the occasional online stuff. Now that you have a computer good enough for it, let's see you in the Old Republic.
I have two computers. I have full on. I have it. I have it on my main system. I haven't touched it yet.
Okay.
Let's get together. One more thing. The big gaming thing I'm doing now is that even though I'm 3 years too late, I bought Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's actually really. Yeah, it's a good game. I was really surprised how good it is, and I didn't think I'd be good at first-person shooters, but I've become proficient, let's say. And so that's it. Sorry. Go ahead, full on. Floor's yours.
And then I did pick up, however, because I just wanted to support the product and see more in the future, I gave in and picked up the TTRPGs for both Goblin Slayer and Konosuba.
They made an RPG for Goblin Slayer?
Yep.
Of course. Why not?
Ooh, I want to see this. I want to check this out. All right.
Stuff anime.
I'll
Check
look
it
into it. I'll look into it. But go ahead.
And I'll see how well it runs. I mean, they sell that, and also, although I refuse to support it because of principle, there's also 5e anime RPG.
I believe that.
Because,
Good man. Good man.
No.
Yeah.
I got BESM. I don't need anything else.
Oh, geez.
That's true.
How many editions have they gotten with Big Eye Smallmouth?
4.
4. Okay.
4th edition, and of course you have all your different flavors of it.
Yeah, I'm 2 editions behind when it comes to that. But go
What
ahead.
about you, Corey? What's
You don't
up?
need much more than that.
I'm sorry.
That's all it
True.
really needs.
True.
What's up with me?
Yeah.
The usual working. They got me going back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Mondays and Fridays I'm at home, but gas prices the way they are. Driving 40 miles one way to work is a pain in the butt.
I believe that.
I'm looking at just with my Pontiac Grand Prix, it's $100 every week just to go to work 3 days a week. But we just picked up a Subaru Forester. We should have that tomorrow, actually. I'll have a new Forester. But playing D&D, working on my world still, my world anvil, running my campaigns, laughing at idiots, wondering why why I have 6 players, 4 of them veterans, and all 4 veterans are listening to the decisions of the guy that this is his first year playing RPGs.
Some people just want to see the world burn, Corey.
You find a cult in a mountain town, and they're surrounding a sarcophagi of ancient design and sculpture on the outside of frescoes of this thing has locks on it, and they're chanting around it. They kill all of the cultists. They take the sarcophagi, they throw it in a warehouse, and they decide to go out and start looking around what else to do. I was like, so you're just gonna let this sarcophagi sit here?
It's closed and they sell for money. What?
Oh my goodness!
So then the lord of their
house. It was
house
not nailed down. It's loot.
This is it.
The lord of their house
It is
goes,
nailed down. Get the hammer.
The lord of the house is like, well, you guys took this thing and put it in my warehouse. Why? Oh, we just wanted them not to have it. He's like, well, okay, I'm sending it down to the baronial seat, the barony, the main big city. You're escorting it. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll go. I'm like, okay, smartasses, wait till Tuesday starts. As soon as they roll up, I already have the map set up, and I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, ready? Roll initiative. Wait, what?
Yep.
I'm going to murder all 7 of them gruesomely, because they're only level 4 or 5. I'm going to murder all of them, and they're all going to wake up the next morning, and the guy's going to be knocking on their door going, you guys ready to get this caravan going down south with the sarcophagi? Now we'll see what they think about. Maybe we should investigate the sarcophagi a little bit more. I'm not quite sure this is a good thing.
Yeah, ADHD is not a good thing when you're playing D&D. It's just not.
One of the main problems is I got them doing the whole Game of Thrones, house versus house. One house is trying to tear apart another house, House Baratheon, etc., that kind of shit. So literally they're like...
What tastes good?
Too busy paying attention to that stuff to realize what could be going on.
Well,
so
later,
that's
Marcus, later, we'll see.
Why I decided I'm gonna
we'll see.
Do this. I should have did this before you asked me what I'm doing today. But anyways, Glenn, what are you up to?
What am I? Oh, where to start? First of all, got back last week from North Texas RPG Con with my grandson Gage. He had a ball. I'm going to have to get full on there next time to really show him how to play BattleTech.
Wow, I think that was a challenge. My ears are ringing from that gauntlet you just threw down.
Check chat.
I did a lot. Oh, some of the swag I got, some Swords and Wizardry, the box set and things, and I found a copy. Get this, of Blood of Heroes.
Wow.
That's the clone of DC Heroes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me. Jeez.
That is out of print and hard to find.
Right.
And Mike was selling these weird books, and it's like, $15. Here you go. I've also done a lot of artwork for Mark Hunt for Gangbusters.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That and some ladies, which I don't have, and he actually pushed me because he asked me to do women, and I did the women. The next 20 he wanted, he says, can you do people of color? Not get into trouble.
Yeah.
He said, well, do a couple and show me. And I showed him. He says, yeah, they're fine. So I did like 4 or 5 people of color. And I don't know. It's weird because I've got this like paper folio that I throw my artwork in when I do it. When I finish it, I scan it and it's like, okay, do it, scan, throw. Do it, scan, throw. And then the other day I pulled it out and go, where the hell did all this artwork come from? I did all this?
He's like, I don't remember drawing those 7.
I don't remember drawing this. I got backgrounds and what the hell?
Nice.
And then
awesome.
I remember I did stuff like this. This is Torchlight #1. I did the cover for it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you. And also since I got a nice new computer, I'm getting back into the reviews on eBay, YouTube. And this is the first one I'm doing, the Arduin Trilogy right there.
Look at that thing.
And yeah, this is the original third-party supplement for D&D. the original.
Wow.
Cool.
And it's one of those. I mean, you take a look at the PDF. I look through it, and it's like, where to begin?
Nice.
There's so much house rule stuff here and other things. It's beautiful, but it's blowing my mind, really. And that's about all I got.
All right.
Oh, and we also stopped at Buc-ee's up and back for beaver nuggets. So anyway.
Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You okay, Glenn?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
somebody
fine.
talking to him.
I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The wife wanted to know if I fed the dog today.
Oh, okay.
And I did. So she can.
Okay.
Anyway, what are we talking? Oh, we got some emails. Got some emails?
Yes, we do.
It's amazing those things show up. It's amazing.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we got some emails. I'll start with the latest one first.
Science.
This is from Norm.
Norm.
Hey, Norm!
What's shaking?
Yeah.
About 7 cheeks and about 18 chins.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, he says, if I can get this thing scrolled up right. Okay.
What you got there is your average interdimensional crash rip.
Hey, you know, John Ratzenberger's from my hometown of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So there.
I'm sorry.
No, hey.
Yeah, well,
so's Robert Mitchum, so you hush. You be quiet over there, Mr. Peanut Gallery. So there. So, yeah,
okay.
Bridgeport's good for something. Hold on one moment. I have an audience. Marcus, you need to be quiet.
Children.
Go on. All right. And he says, okay, over the past few years, I've been working through your podcast fairly randomly, along with Roll for Initiative and the Save or Die podcasts. Mostly because I've been trying to figure out which version of AD&D to teach my kids, now aged 9, 7, and 5. After much consternation, I chose to start them out with D&D 3.5 and Greyhawk with the Hackmaster versions of B1 and 2. Let's see. Let's back up a moment. I graduated. Yeah, that's not bad. That's if you're gonna do 3.5, if you're gonna put Hackmaster in, okay, I get it. You know, just be.
I mean,
I don't see how that makes 3.5 better.
Well, you know,
9 and 5. If you want them to cry, just play basic or first edition.
Yeah, no, you want them to keep playing. You want them to keep playing.
Hey.
You know.
I didn't say Rule Cyclopedia. I just said, save or die. You want them to cry? Just play first edition. No, you don't get a second chance. Sorry, kid. Roll new character.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Which reminds me, in the last Thursday game, we had a guy we had one of our players do a save or die from just tasting a potion.
Nice.
Well, that's a really high level.
And he failed the save, but that's Matt Evans. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We all know his level of cruelty is,
legendary.
Yes, legendary. Okay, he says
he's up there with Tim Kask. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Kask. I'm thinking Jim Ward.
Well, Kask was his mentor. He went to North Texas and saw him.
That's true. Okay. He says I graduated high school in 1991, so that means I got started with the Decaying Echoes of One Ian Beckme. When second edition came out, I illegally obtained a copy of the Player's Handbook and joined one of the 2 local groups. So while first was seen as quote-unquote my grandfather's game, I really got started with second and embraced it, Forgotten Realms and all. All right, I'll let that dig slide. I know that's a dig. I fell out of RPGs while in the Air Force in Germany in the late 90s instead embracing Magic the Gathering. But I joyfully embraced 3rd edition when it came out, even converting many of my old characters to the new edition. After the Air Force, I abandoned Magic the Gathering, landed in California, and got back into RPGs, favoring realism and embracing much more crunchy games like Ars Magica, Harnmaster, and Hackmaster. Realism? Hackmaster? What?
Nuclear Winter Fireball for the win.
Yeah, exactly. I even founded a NorCal Hackmaster chapter and GM the finals at Gen Con back in the early aughts. Lost as a player in the finals the next year. Dave Kenzer screwed me. Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. But
a big hooty hoo for you for that.
Yeah, exactly. But third edition was always in the background for a nice pickup during those years. I originally refused to embrace 3.5C as a cash grab. Yeah, you think? I played it, but I never bought any books. I refused to acknowledge 4th edition, and while several knowledgeable and experienced friends endorsed 5th edition, I just can't get into it after reading a couple dozen pages of the Pirated Player's Handbook PDF. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of picking my kids' first RPG, I wanted to go old school, but I found Beck Me too simple. That's the point, man. About 5 or 10 years ago, I slowly picked up every hard copy of first edition before the prices exploded. They've outperformed my 401k since. Yeah, I believe that. But after reading them all, I realized I didn't want to inflict a terrible organization and confusing and contradictory rules on my kids. Second edition was considered, but I thought
he should get Osric.
Yeah, that's a good alternative, actually. Second edition was considered, but I thought it was a warmed over version of first edition after rereading all of my old 2 ebooks. I don't think so. No, it's not. But, admittedly, we're all biased here on THACO's Hammer, but I'll let that slide. So reluctantly, I picked up a cheap 3.5 Player's Handbook in DMG, and while some consider it crunchy and overcomplicated, whoever says that has never experienced Harnmaster. I want my kids to be able to do quick math and realize dynamic situational bonuses. However, it will be a vanilla 3.5 without all the extra crap added through endless supplements. It's of a pure, well play-tested version before the inevitable cash grab. You just contradicted yourself, my friend, but okay. Anyway, after listening to your episode 175 today, I realized that you guys had a better idea. I played through Pool of Radiance many times. I read the novelizations. Curse of the Azure Bonds was the novel that really got me into reading. So essentially, Ruins of Adventure was the first module I ever went through completely and repeatedly. So I've chosen that as the first module my kids will play through rather than Hackmaster B1 and B2. Probably a generic world at first. That can always be filled in later. But I like how Ruins is a very modular with a simple yet complicated story and very adaptable using my several dirt cheap dungeon sets. Yeah, that's actually a good way to do it. I remember using graph paper back in the day, mapping out everything in pencil. Yeah, I did that too. The sorrows of being an only child to a single parent in the 80s with a Commodore 64. Yeah, that was me. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, for the inspiration. Ruins should be fairly easy to adapt to 3.5. I like how every die roll moves in the same direction, for the kids, of course. I'm not really sorry that I'm using 3.5, but I wanted you guys to know that despite that, I still appreciate your second edition podcast. I really didn't notice that RFI and SOD fell off the radar. There's a lot. Yeah, I know. We're the last one standing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that out loud.
No, it's okay, Corey. I'm right there with you, brother. You remember the early days. Let's see. There's a lot going on with the job and kids in life. So please don't give up. You are helping me to influence the next generation. Soldier on, Grognard. So, regarding...
Thank you, Norm.
Oh, I'm not done.
This is what you do. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not done. One more small little paragraph. Okay. So regarding dice in episode 174, yes, you can roll and log your D20s 400 times to get a valid statistical sample, but that is not accounting for surface texture or roll distance and rolling technique. You might be doing it wrong. The best way to test dice is to boil some water and melt as much salt it will take, then float your dice to see whether they are naturally weighted. Oh my god.
That is correct. That's the game science testing method, correct.
Yeah. No, this is how you tell if they're a witch or not.
Yeah, no kidding. Ideally use the countdown dice where the higher numbers are closer position if you can get away with it. Yes, I probably thought about dice rolling too much, but then again, I've always been known to roll well in pressure situations. Lastly, Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah, we know he didn't. I'm looking forward to your next episode, Boring Norm. Yes, I live in a village called Boring, Oregon. It is indeed boring, but I have an awesome view of Mount Hood from my windows.
Cool. Well, okay. As far as the kids in 2E, this is what you do. You take 2E, go back to 1E, grab the monk and the half orc, slam them back in, get rid of the proficiencies and the feats, and you're good. And if you insist on sticking to 3.5, you might want to consider Castles and Crusades. That's 3rd edition done right.
I can't disagree with that.
I will add that I'm just freaking glad you're teaching your 9, 7, and 5. Is that what he said? 9, 7, 5-year-olds.
Yep.
D&D. Yes, I've turned a corner in my old age. I don't care what edition you're playing, as long as you're freaking playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy.
Well, it all comes down to that, doesn't
Corey,
it?
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You have turned 40 recently, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm 46.
46. Okay. Jeez, you still look like you're 25.
I know.
Despite all that drinking you've been doing. Jeez.
Well,
preservation.
Telling you're handling yourself for real.
Well, sir, I'm speaking from 65-year-old experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, play what you want to play.
Sure.
That's the whole point. You're playing.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't be playing in your game.
Yeah, for real. That's for you and your kids. You know, I'm not going to be doing it either because I had my fill of 3rd and 3.5, and you know, everybody's like, well, it's simpler. It's like, no, D&D is supposed to make you think on a bunch of different levels, not just from the situation that your character is in, but also from the actual system itself. You know, and people just don't want to think these days. But whatever.
For kids, 3rd edition and the D20 plus system actually works. Mm-hmm. 5th edition is even better for new kids to learn D&D because there's not much to it.
No.
I agree, but you know, once they're 13, 15 and they're taking math class and they understand what dividing means, dude, get them into 2nd edition, tell them what negative numbers are, and they're going to have so much more modability of the classes of kids and things like that.
Okay, be that as it may, I'm not going to argue with a lot of that, but there's not much to 3rd edition.
Yeah, I know.
There's too much to 3rd edition.
Yeah, that was the problem. That's why they went aside from the cash grab. That's why they went for
Kenobiism on that. It all depends on your certain point of view.
So, point of view, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. As a player, 3rd edition's awesome. As a DM, I really don't want to make 7 character sheets for 7 different Knolls.
Exactly.
It's just not my kind of fun. Mm-hmm. But as a player, 3rd edition is awesome.
You don't have to. There's ways. There's ways. You don't have to. And whoever says that you do is wrong. So, it's okay.
By original design, that's what it was intended. Whether or not you change it or you found ways around it is not, the point is that's how they originally designed it. I'm not making character sheets for every monster.
And yeah, exactly. You don't have to have complete stats for every single thing in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, but you know, I played in games where I don't like the system before because I wanted to play with the people who are in it.
Yep, exactly.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to keep on playing.
Vampire the Masquerade. Vampire the Masquerade.
Exactly.
That's how I started with 3rd edition in the first place, because my roommates and their friends were running a game, and I decided to get in on it, and I was like, okay. And they were like, okay, we're going to use 3rd edition rules with
D17 splat books. Oh, okay.
No, I can't remember the. I can't remember the freaking rule set they were using. It was one of the MMORPGs, I think, of the day, like early 2000s. And we're gonna do that with this campaign setting, but we're gonna run the classic D&D modules. Like we went through like we started Temple of Elemental Evil, but the DM was like, the second you leave, everyone's gonna pack up and leave, so everything that is there is gone, and that was frustrating. You know, because he did that because when you're going up against 3rd edition giants that have another power boost above and beyond what 2nd edition gave them, you know, and you are like 7th, 8th level characters, and you are slogging it out against them, and you have to go and you have to retreat and rest and get your spells back and heal up before you start back in there. You know, and all of a sudden you go in and they've all packed up their stuff and left. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, after he did that like 3 times, I'm like, okay, I'm done. You know, that's a DM thing. And third edition is okay to play, but for a DM, I can see the logistical nightmare.
It's a nightmare to DM.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I find.
But anyway,
I find.
All right, let me archive that.
Look at it this way.
Go
I
ahead.
started when I was 7, and look how I turned out. You'll be fine.
I could
Enough
say
said.
quite a
So
bit,
much.
but I will not.
I rest my case. But we got any more emails?
Yeah, actually, okay. Here we go. This is good because we all get a little praise.
I love when you say that because we're in for a big old time.
Okay, this one is from DM Oscar. He says,
Oscar.
Yes, he says, greetings, Hammerlords. If in need of praise, please read. Of course we're always in need of praise around here.
I'm
know.
egomaniacal.
We have very tiny egos we need to praise.
My motto is, if there's anything out there larger than my ego, I want it caught and killed.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. To continue, Corey's return is something that really made me happy. It's always a ball when him and Fulham.
Well, you.
Yeah. Well, it's just that much less off my shoulder, so I'm always good. Instead of splitting it into thirds, it's now in quarters. I'm happy. He says it's always a ball when him and Fulham start describing how to scar, maim, and terrorize a party.
This is virtual high five.
Yeah, it's something that I really enjoy, and I take notes from my own groups. Glen's laid-back attitude and keep it simple, stupid shows great insights for how to keep a game going and keeping it fun. His stories of his games is something. Okay, don't worry, Brian, I'm not forgetting you. Now, I'm reading this verbatim. If necessary, I will take a screenshot. Okay. Don't worry, Brian, I'm not forgetting you. Your methodical way of thinking helps set the stage for your points, and I really enjoy your approaches. Thank you. I'm glad somebody acknowledges that. As a group, you have that magic that makes...
we'll get over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all right. Life will smack me upside the head, and I'll forget all about this. As a group, you all have that magic that makes each episode fun, engaging, and filled with learning. Also, I think Keith deserves praise for his work on getting the shows out. From this one...
Absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's made this whole thing so painless. I'm happy. From this...
We also say that so you won't edit this out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think he forgot full on.
We love the guy.
He forgot full on. I'm looking at the rest of his email. Oh my God, this is not good.
Oh, he already got me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
okay.
Terrorizing players.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He put you.
That's not my only function. It's just one of the services I provide.
It's what you're best at. From this one listener's point of view, I think it deserves to be acknowledged and praised. Yes, for sure. Keith's done a wonderful job, and he's actually been pestering me, asking when we're going to be recording. I'm like, dude, it's just like trying to get together for a game where we're all grown adults. Real life keeps interfering.
Or hurting cats.
Yeah, one of the two. My question is regarding wizards, crystal balls, and spells which can be combined specifically to share the information with the party. If a wizard uses a crystal ball for scrying, would you also allow the same wizard to cast an illusion spell like Phantasmal Force to project out the 3D images of what they view? How would you rule something like that? Would you allow other spells to be used, say dictation, while blurting out what you see in the crystal ball? I'm curious for what you would allow in your games, or what would you try to do as a player? Oh, those are two very different questions. Very different questions.
I got a very simple answer to the first one.
Okay.
So you have a wizard.
Yeah.
Scrying on a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And he wants to show people near him what he's seeing in the crystal ball.
You need to go in the bedroom.
And you want to be able to make him have the ability to transfer so people can see it on the big screen, so to speak.
You're making too much noise.
Very simple. Spellcraft proficiency check.
That works. Yeah, that's
your illusion and do a spellcraft check.
Mm-hmm. That works. That's almost elegant in its simplicity.
Just move on.
Wait a minute. You give that to me or full on. Next thing you know, you're going to have a series of sports bars around the land with these crystal balls from the Coliseum. They're projecting up there on the
live sports. Got it. You're gonna have who's gonna run the betting ring?
Oh Lord.
So does that mean the psionicist in the bar is the one who does the trivia?
Ooh, I like that. Marcus.
Actually, no, it would be the bard with their legend lore. it would be the bard doing the trivia.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just say the Isekai, a realist hero rebuilt a kingdom, isn't the one who did it first. We've all been there already.
Yes, we have.
Oh, yeah.
But, the way I see it, if this is where the rule of cool comes in for me. I don't go too far with the rule of cool because God only knows, I've seen on the message boards, DMs are just slaves to the rule of cool. If you come up with something cool, it'll just get thrown in the game. And it's like, no, it has to at least make a little bit of sense. It just doesn't have to be cool. It's got to actually make a little sense. But
you wouldn't believe how I can bend sense.
Yes, I know, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn, I've been doing this podcast with you for 12 years. I have a good idea.
But it would, if nothing else, you just throw cast in large.
There you go.
But
when in doubt.
Yeah, exactly. But let's see. Well, there is a crystal ball that has clairaudience with it, so you could actually scry and hear what's going on. But I would say if you wanted to do one where you could more or less, have it be a D&D version of a GoPro, you'd have to make a whole brand new spell for that. That's what I would do in the long run, because as we know, players tend to, if you give them an inch, they'll run from one edge of the continent to the other. So, with some players, I should say, I shouldn't generalize. Some players. But,
it would be hilarious to see somebody fail that proficiency check and just tell them, okay, you got the visual, but you're going to have to do the audio. And you're watching the wizard go, pew, pew, choo, choo, bang, bang, pow.
Yeah, for real. Oh, my goodness.
He could be his own color commentator.
Is it?
Exactly.
Oh, that looks like that's got to hurt.
Yeah.
That is very, very funny. But yeah, so I'm okay with it as long as, hold on, there we go. As long as it's just one of these things where I'm like, okay, if I allow this, is this going to mess the game up in some way? I have to take a couple of seconds to think about that before I allow something like that. But if it's okay and it's actually kind of cool, sure. I don't have a problem with it, but if they start using it as a crutch, it'll be like, okay, it doesn't work anymore. What? Have you ever heard of the phrase "going to the well once too often"? And you come up dry. Yeah, that's kind of what you did. So yeah. Anyway, so
watch the first few episodes of Overlord, you'll get it.
We're gonna jump in the portable hole for the 15th time today. Okay, do you close it on them? Yeah, I put it in my pocket and I sneak around. Okay, as you're inside, you realize, the air's gone. What do you mean? Yeah, you've gone to that well a little too many times. Roll me a con check. Oh, you're unconscious. Did you want to let him out of the bag? No, I'm only halfway there. Okay, so roll me a new character up.
You did.
So he's half of the bag.
Yeah, give me your character sheet. He's going on the wall.
Yep.
This one's going to be particularly embarrassing. Yes. Here
proves
lies
what I always. Which proves what I always say: you can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice one. Nice.
But anyhow,
that one will grow on you.
Oh.
Jeez. Okay, I'm not going to perpetuate this. I'm leaving this alone. I'm officially dropping that right at my feet.
Planting the seed, as it were. Okay.
Shall we say we answered him?
Yeah.
Thanks for sending an email. We appreciate it. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Yes,
we definitely answered. Ouch.
THACO's
yes, you can do it. There's many ways.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Full on. I stopped about 5 miles ago. Okay.
He's a trucker. He's got to go to the end. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Folks, you can still send it to us at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
Uh-huh. And we do have a voicemail number. 405-806-0555. Got it.
I got the 405 and the 0555. I can never remember the 806. That's my problem. I'm like, I know what it's.
Yeah, lots of zeros and fives. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said number. I thought we had a voicemail.
Actually, the funny thing is we have like 4 voicemails. I'm looking right at them. We need to go through them at some point.
Another voicemail and email show? Is that what we're talking?
That. We can do that. Hey,
heck yeah.
Hey, I'm putting out the call now. Kojo, everybody, Kojo, Oscar, send us some more emails. Sonny, yeah, come on. Get on the keyboard.
Jason?
Yeah, get on the keyboard. We need more emails so we can do an email show. Even though Glenn hates them.
I like them.
Uh-huh.
I think it's cool because literally we don't have to do the Gmail. Okay, guys, what are we going to do for a show this week? We literally can just be like, all right, do some emails. That's what we're talking about this week.
Here's what we got.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever I just don't have it in me to create a show off the top of my head when my muse is being lazy.
I said Friday morning at North Texas, we had a podcaster's breakfast.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them were on there. By the way, Jason Hobbs was there.
Who's that?
At the con. Hobbs and Friends. But anyway, what I said is, as far as all email shows, I know people who don't like them. That's because you can either do them well or not, and most of them are not.
No, they're not.
Now, I'm not going to say if ours are any good, but I enjoy them.
Hey, so I think they're okay. We're good at what we do. We've been doing this for 12 years, and our emailers have actually decent questions.
Remember I said little ego? Anyway,
it's just facts. It's not ego. It's just facts.
Okay, no brag, just fact. Okay,
exactly.
Let's go into Magic Fingers.
The White Wizard approaches.
There's no such thing as magic.
You're always a better magician. Who doesn't know that? But whatever your secret was, you have to agree. Mine is better.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. Morton-Kinen's disjunction.
Yes,
I got my arm undone. Can you fix it?
Oh no! This is the ultimate. The DM has had it with your crap spell.
Really?
Yes.
What level is it?
Level 9.
Okay. Yeah, that's a DM don't want your crap spell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to take a long time.
DM is tired of your crap. It is time. It's all over for you. Okay. It is from the Alteration and Enchantment schools. Range is 0. Components are just verbal. Casting time is 9.
Wow.
Duration's instantaneous in a 30-foot radius. Saving throw is special. This is in the Wizard Spell Compendium Volume 3. And what page is that? 593. So for those keeping score at home, you can look it up there. When this spell is cast, all magic and magical items within the radius of the spell, except those on the person or of being touched by the spellcaster, are disjoined. That is, spells being cast are separated into their individual components, usually spoiling the effects as a dispel magic spell does. And permanent and enchanted magical items must successfully save versus spell if it actually casts our creature, or versus a dispel magic spell otherwise, or be turned into normal items. Even artifacts and relics are subject to a Morning-Canaan's disjunction, although there is only a 1% chance per caster level experience of affecting such powerful items.
You often wonder I often wonder how somebody like Morning-Canaan went about creating this spell. Because when he says relics and things, he probably was aiming for that, and everything else is just kind of gravy.
I can tell you how he did it. He was in Gary Gygax's first game, one of the Circle of 8. That's how he
no kid. No kid.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
Said,
Gary came up with
long enough.
exactly. Gary came up with this
button.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
He's like, I just want an undo button. I don't care what it is. I just want an undo button.
Yeah, he gave too many really powerful magic items and artifacts to his players. They were mowing down everything mowing down everything in front of them, and he's like, okay, I need to come up with this, because I'm tired of this.
If you had a sphere that was just like, it just annihilated whatever it touched. That's awesome. Let's put it in the mouth.
Exactly. So, let's see.
The infamous black ball in Basic?
Yes, exactly. All potions, scrolls, rings, rods, miscellaneous magic items, artifacts and relics, arms and armor, swords, and miscellaneous weapons within 30 feet of the spellcaster are... Sorry, I have to scroll up really quick. Possibly lose all their magical properties when the Morning Canaan's Disjunction spell is cast. There is also a 1% chance per level of destroying an anti-magic shell. If the shell survives the disjunction, no items within it are disjoined. Note, destroying artifacts is a dangerous business and is 95% likely to attract the attention of some powerful being who has an interest or connection with the device. Additionally, if the artifact is destroyed, the casting wizard must make a successful saving throw versus spell with a -4 penalty, or permanently lose all spell casting abilities.
Yep.
So he is no longer a mage if that fails.
Yeah, if he bricks that save, yes.
He's a skinny old dude. He's a skinny old dude that turns into a sage.
Find another class.
Corey, you just hit on something.
What?
That's how most sages came about.
Yeah, that's how most sages are actually made.
Wow.
I used to be a wizard.
We got this hand here. This hand here's a problem. Could somebody do something about this hand?
Yeah,
Doink.
Powerful wizard.
Oh crap! Okay, can somebody else do something about this hand? Doink. Can somebody do something about this hand? Zap. Awesome. We did something about the hand.
And then
Why
Vecna
is it getting
shows
dark
up
overhead?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. And then Vecna comes up. You destroyed my hand. Now I destroy you. Yeah. That's a bad day.
I need another.
Yeah. I'm going to. How about yours? Anyway. Okay. I've never used this spell personally, but this is one of those. My first DM, Krista, who was one of the most sadistic GMs I've ever played under to this day, basically had no problems, especially when this spell first came out. I think it was in Dragon Magazine first, and then it got put into Unearthed Arcana, if I'm not mistaken. So we're talking 1985, and he had zero problems having his opposition archwizards casting this spell willy-nilly, just to basically just wreck the party, because now you basically have a bunch of high-level characters who have no protective magic items or magical weapons or anything of that sort. So yeah, that's not good. So that's how I ran into Morning Canaan's Disjunction. Anyone else?
Very nice.
I have a nightmare story about it. I used it. I had it in my world where certain wizards, especially wizards that got a certain flavor of the spell from clerics of the god of magic, had a variation that could disable an item, but it wasn't dead. All it would need is a higher level mage to cast just enchant an item back onto the item, which would reactivate the item, thereby unlocking the enchantment. The problem was, one of my fighter mages who prayed to the god of magic decided to start using this spell at higher levels, and then decided to see if he could make a rod with this ability in it. So then what he was doing is running around to the main bad guys going, poof, you have normal items, drop them and run. Okay, he ran. I grab his stuff, take him back home, and I cast enchant item on it. Oh, okay, now they're active again. Literally making it the ultimate nullifier. I was like, yeah, no, I got to change this now.
Yeah.
You're abusing this thing.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's definite abuse. Falon?
There's different ways it can go into play. I can see it definitely being a necessary component if you're creating a magic item, like say an anti-magic sword. Tellery Windy Arm of Snarfquest, I look at you. This is an awesome item.
You're
awesome
absolutely right.
For that.
Crap.
This is how you go. This is how you have a sword that can cut a lightning bolt in half and make it go away. Cool, no problem.
I forgot about Snarfquest. Very, very well done, Falon. Wow.
And then this seems to me like the kind of thing that you could insert into a plot device as a grenade pin claymore that people don't even know is there, so that they go in and all we need you to do is this. Go here, take this ring of spell storing, go here and discharge the spell in it at this time and place, and nothing else is going to go wrong. and then everything goes wrong.
Of course.
But of course, I also play in a circle where I don't mind having stuff being turned off. I have actually dwarf balled my way through things and tanked situations where, it's just brute strength and numbers now? Nice! I'm down for that. And I've done it intentionally to even playing field. So, it works both ways. It's not just a screw you to the players. It can be a screw you to the DM as well. But if it is, you just turn it around and it goes both ways.
Yep.
And where it applies, it applies. And there's a reason. If it's a burst with a 30-foot radius, it's a burst with a 30-foot radius. You thought you were, we're here to destroy this thing. We destroyed this thing. And everything around it. Oh, crap. We're around it.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to get your way out of the situation that you cakewalked your way into, and it's a knockdown drag out to try to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Right. It can be a thing. It just adds a twist to the suspense, and it's useful. Cool. I can work with that.
Mm-hmm. No, I
no worse than summoning a bunch of disenchanters and saying, running people over with a herd of them like buffalo.
Well, let's put it this way: if your DM shows up with a 20-something level mage, and he's basically running a pack of disenchanters, yes, he's had it with your crap. That's just how it is, because disenchanters, nobody wants to. I mean, that's the rust monster for high level characters, the disenchanter. let's just call it what it is. But this spell is just This is one of those where the DM's just had enough of your crap, and he's just going to push the reset button on your player characters, and you're going to have to start over. Because you've gotten too strong, and it's probably a DM's fault in the first place. It's either that or you have a magic item that you're using in a way that it wasn't intended, and you've argued and rules lawyered your way into getting your way, and the DM's like, okay, you can have it for now. But sooner or later,
uncomfortable if you happen to do that, like on top of a great seal or a binding spell or something to the effect of nobody wanted this loose and you did what? Nearby it?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that kind of what you just described in your game, Corey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that picture of the D20 field.
It doesn't matter. Put it in the wagon.
Exactly. Jeez.
Wipe it down so it looks shiny. We're going to sell this sucker.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry.
A trail of zombie rats following the wagon train. Yeah. Nobody notices.
Yeah. Nobody notices. Yeah, it's like... And the DM,
they got short legs. They're like a couple hours behind.
Yeah, but they never stop. You have to. Anyway, Glenn?
Well, I have never run into Mordenkainen's disjunction, but I know now that I'm going to keep it away from Matt Evans.
Yeah. No. Knowing what I know about him, he knows about it.
And I'm thankful he runs basic.
Mm-hmm.
He runs Beckme D&D, so odds are he ain't going to run into it.
Right.
Unless I point it out, and I ain't doing it.
I bet he already knows. I bet he already knows.
Shut up, full-on.
So, yeah, Mordenkainen's disjunction. Yeah, the ultimate EMP, if you will, for your player characters.
You might say that.
The best is somebody should cast contingency spell and put it on one of those seals. So when someone goes over to try to touch it, all the crap is gone. They're like, oh.
Yep. And that's if you want to know what that would be like the chamber for an archmage who reportedly died, but he's trying to become a lich and he doesn't want to be disturbed, so he faked his own death. And now he's deep inside of his Sanctum Sanctorum, trying to become a lich. And yeah, anybody who wants to try to stop him, and you try to go in the main entrance, that big symbol right there. Okay, I need you to roll a saving throw for every magic item you have. What? Yeah, he doesn't want to be bothered.
All DMs listening. This is what you do. Players are hired by a wizard, who's now a sage in a town. It turns out that one of his rivals decided that he was too powerful, so he sent in an item with the contingency spell on it. When he opened up the box, which was quote-unquote a gift, everything in the wizard's area has been decimated and turned mundane. The wizard is angry, and he hires the PC to go after his rival to gain all of his items to bring back to your wizard. Little wizardry rivalry.
or a really doozy of a practical joke. One of the two.
I'll say.
Jeez.
Oh. Shades of the Myth series there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Well, that was Mordecai's Disjunction. I hope you all enjoyed it and don't use it against me. So, if you got anything to say about this, THACOshammer@gmail.com. And we move on to the snipe hunt.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Snipe hunt. Sapphire Dragon.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we're getting into
my favorite gem.
Or the bling dragons. As I think.
A stripper dragon.
Coming up on the sale, full on. Oh, that's too easy. It's too easy. Yeah. Emerald, topaz,
it all depends
amethyst. Yeah, emerald, topaz, amethyst. Yeah. Yeah, all stripper names I've heard at one point in my life or another. But anyway, okay, Sapphire Dragon. Okay, let's run down the stats. Climate and terrain, any subterranean. Frequency, very rare. Organization, solitary or clan. Activity cycle, any. Diet is special. Intelligence, genius. That's 17 to 18. The treasure type is special. Alignment is lawful neutral. Okay, let's see. Base armor class is -3. Movement rate 9. Normally flying is 30 with C maneuverability class, and burrowing is 6. 13 hit dice is the base. THACO is 7 at the base. Of course, the base category is juvenile category 4. It can go down for younger, up for old. Yeah, I know. Well, the funny part is that red and gold dragons still have this thing dominated, but we'll move on from that. But yeah, this is one of the stronger ones of the gem dragons. Attacks per round 3, damages 1 to 8, 1 to 8, 5 to 20. And they even put it in 3d6 plus 2, not 5d4. So there. Special attacks, defenses, and magic resistance are variable. Size is huge. Morale is fanatical at 17 to 18. And the XP value, of course, is variable. Okay. While not actively hostile, Sapphire Dragons are militantly territorial and initially distrustful of anyone who approaches. These beautiful dragons, geez, I can't even talk. These beautiful dragons range from light to dark blue and sparkle in light even at birth. Sapphire dragons are often mistaken for blue dragons unless someone recalls the latter's preferred arid environment. Yes. We're underground. What's a blue dragon doing here? Oh, okay. Let's see. Sapphire dragons speak their own tongue and the tongue common to all gem dragons, and 16% of hatchling dragons have an ability to communicate with any intelligent creature. That chance goes up by 5% per age category. Combat. Sapphire dragons generally observe intruders before deciding what to do with them, unless known enemies such as drow or dwarves are present. If others are not actively hostile, the dragon attempts to conversation and spell use to determine their intentions and convince them to leave. If the dragon or its treasure is threatened, it attacks immediately with breath weapon, spells, and physical attacks. It uses psionics or other special abilities to escape if its life is in jeopardy. Okay, that makes perfect sense, and I can see why. I'm looking at what they have for powers.
Alignment is what?
Lawful neutral. So this actually that
makes sense.
Yeah. How it behaves is actually in line with lawful neutral. Let's see. Breath weapon. This dragon's breath weapon is a cone of high-pitched, almost inaudible sound, 75 feet long, 5 feet wide at the mouth, 20 feet wide at the base. Creatures caught by the blast can save versus breath weapon for half damage from the sound's disruption and must make a second saving throw or be affected by fear, fleeing the dragon in panic for 2 rounds per age level of the dragon plus 1d6 rounds. This is a metabolic effect, and creatures unaffected by magical fear still suffer from the effects if they fail their save. How about that? Okay, Mr. Kender. Okay, Mr. Paladin. You still this is on a metabolic level, dude. You're still running away.
Yep.
That's
the
great.
Brown note of dragons.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
Yep,
The
absolutely.
brown note.
Okay, let's see. Oh, the brown note. Right? Let's see. Deafness does not protect one from the breath weapon's damage, though it prevents the fear effects. A Sapphire Dragon casts spells and uses magical abilities at 7th level plus its combat modifier. Sapphire Dragons are born with the immunity to all forms of fear, as well as immunity to web, hold, slow, and paralysis. Who the hell would try to web a dragon? Seriously.
Or cast fear on a dragon.
Yeah, for real.
I ain't scared.
Ain't scared.
I ain't scared, you're scared. When you're trying to subdue a dragon, there's a whole chapter in the DMG about not fighting dragons to kill them, it's fighting them to subdue them.
Yes.
These are things you do when you're working your way through how do you subdue a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
And
sure.
if you
They're
want
small
and
enough. If you've got enough heft in your spellcasting and the dragon is young/small enough, you can do it.
Right. Yeah.
And if you want practice, go play Horror on the Hill.
Yeah, for real. Let's see. Yeah. Well. Oh, I just got that. Okay, Glenn. Yeah. You'll notice I didn't. That wasn't an option for you guys. You did notice that, right? Anyway. Where was I? Oh, that's right. As they age, they gain the following additional powers. At the young category, they get continual light 3 times a day. Juvenile, they get stone shape 3 times a day. Adult, they get anti-magic shell once a day. Wow. That's tough. That's really tough. Mature adult, pass wall 6 times a day. Venerable, wall of stone 3 times per day. And great worm, they cast sun ray 3 times a day. Wow. Sheesh. Okay. Their psionics, let's see. Their level is their hit dice. 2 disciplines, 2 sciences, 4 devotions. They take from clairsentience, psychokinesis, and psychoportation. Now, oh geez, that means that dragon could teleport if he wanted to. Holy
Yes, he
crap.
can.
Yes.
Right.
Holy
That's
crap.
right.
Dimension
This
door and
goes-
teleport. Holy crap.
Well, no, this goes in key with their habitat and society. Read on.
True. Okay, next chapter, actually. Sapphire dragons live deep underground and often place their treasure in caverns accessible only through magic or psionics. That makes sense. They sometimes share territory with emerald dragons. Sapphire dragons treat their young well, but force them to leave and find their own territory as soon as they are young adults. Get out! Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but they keep teleporting back to, I'm hungry, I want to go.
Fine. Here. As a matter of fact, here's the ecology. Speaking of hungry, sapphire dragons consider giant spiders a great delicacy and often hunt them. Deep dragons, drow, dwarves, mind flayers, and aboleth are great enemies of sapphire dragons. Isn't there one in what's-a-face in Night Below?
No. There's not.
Oh,
There should be. There could be. And if you find your party in book 3 getting basically
housed,
yeah, if you find them getting housed, it would probably be useful to have them encounter one somewhere along the way just to sort things out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and probably that sapphire dragon would have some information on the aboleth. That's true. That makes sense. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, whoops.
You could also use one if you're doing GDQ, just in case you're running into problems with all those drow people, and you need the reinforcement. This is a ample and suitable lane to lean into.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. Let's see.
If you can talk them into it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because you have to earn that dragon's trust, and they're just trustful people. So yes.
Right.
Okay. Their armor class ranges from 0 at Halfling stage to -11 at Great Worm stage. That breath weapon we were talking about starts at hatchling at 2d6 plus 1, goes all the way up to 24d6 plus 12. Let's see, they also cast wizard and priest spells. They start casting priest spells first at juvenile stage, and it just keeps going up until, let's see, they can do 4th level mage spells and 5th level priest spells at Great Worm stage. They get 20% magic resistance at category age 5, and it goes up by 5% until at Great Worm stage it's 55%. Their XP value starts at 2,000 for a hatchling and tops out at 20,000 for Great Worm stage. I'm looking at their treasure types. They have the H category ×2. I'm just going as a Great Worm. They'll have H ×2, Q ×24. That's 1d4 gems, if I'm not mistaken, per category. So that's what 24 to 96, I think. And the treasure type T, I think, is potions and scrolls, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so they have a really good treasure trove. But getting to it is really tough. So yeah, there you go.
I find the description somewhat lacking in the whole in the breath weapon category.
Yep. Yeah, it always just says noise.
I'm gonna get that later.
You know, okay.
I'll get those
Deafness
when I go
doesn't
shopping
protect
next
you.
week. Okay.
I bet you a silence spell will.
Well, Marcus,
I would
you
rule
ate
it as such.
Marcus,
It
you
would
ate
be,
all your snacks.
It would behoove people to cast silence on themselves when interacting with a sapphire dragon.
I'll get you some after
from a
I'm
combat
done, okay?
perspective.
It's going to be a
I
little
have
while
one of them
still,
in
okay?
prison. One of my, we'll get to that.
Oh?
And
Yeah,
if you could drop it on one, there would be a way to muzzle or muffle them.
Yeah.
If you could get it on their head.
For real. Yikes. But yeah, I'm just like, that breath weapon is pretty nasty. I mean, the only ones I'm still considering doing the oh god, what are they called? Basically they're dragons that were in Dragon Magazine, since you did the metallics, the chromatics, the gem. There's
the Lenorm?
No, you want to know what? We can do the Lenorms. I have no problem with that.
I love Lenorm dragons because they're mainly Mystara, right?
No, those were Norse. Those were like in Dragon Magazine. Those were like Norse ones, and they didn't look anything like regular dragons do.
They're big fire serpents.
Yeah,
literally big fire serpents.
Yeah, we can. We can do the Lenorms. I'll put that in.
I get what they're trying to say with the breath weapon description in how it can affect different things, but saying it's a metabolic effect. Okay, undead. I don't have metabolics.
Yeah.
So screw you.
Right.
However, the point is it's sound. So it's supposed to audio vibratory blast you apart with sonic waves.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's supposed to work on zombies and undead and skeletons.
Well,
so does it or does it not? That's a weak description, in my humble opinion. And you'd have to make a call one way or the other. Do you want to lean into it and make them vulnerable, or do you want to lean into it and say, and these walk through it? Because they don't hear and they don't have metabolisms for you to make your liver explode.
But
with ultrasound.
But I will say, because it's with sound. You were in the Army, full on. I forget what they called it. What
there
was
is
that?
a riot device. There is a big Humvee that will. You see a silly version of it in the Hulk movie.
Yes.
There's a giant Humvee whose riot control device is to just, do ultrasound and screw with people.
Mm-hmm. But I will say that we've all heard the stories over the years on the internet and elsewhere about the one guy who has a stereo system that is so loud that it will literally stop your heart if you're close to the speaker. That somebody actually was too close to a speaker, playing the stereo at upwards of 160 decibels, and it stopped his heart and killed him. Now, as far as the fear goes, I get what you're saying, full on, but in the case of skeletons and zombies anyway, they're going to be turned into powder just by the force of the sound waves. So, it doesn't matter. My whole thing is, undead, immune to all kinds of fear. I get where you're saying that it's not worded very well. I'm thinking more. I think this is more along the lines of like living beings who are immune to fear, like Kender, and character classes like Cavaliers and Paladins that are immune to fear. You know, that all of a sudden this is something that's supposed to,
this is supposed to grab you by the lizard brain and say, "Why aren't you running?"
Exactly. You know, it's not even a magical effect. It's just a physical effect that messes with you. It's just it's like you said, the brown note.
So
turned up to like 11,000 instead of just 11.
Sapphire Dragon really mess you up, folks.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I mean, even at young ages, really mess you up. So if you want to talk to us about it or ask any more questions, THACOshammer@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And now, brainstorm.
Now you tell me what you know.
Only the infinity of the depths of a man's mind can really tell the story.
What are you, a wizard, a genius?
Dear Brainstorm.
Hey, it's a brainstorm. Were Raven airy on a mountain? Were ravens, and they have Tourette's.
Were ravens?
I'm sorry. The Curse of Straw. When we play Curse of Straw, that's forever indelible in my memories of ravens who end every sentence with "bitch." It's over there, bitch.
Okay.
Follow me, bitch.
Okay, I had to pull up the stats for the Weir Raven because it's been so long since we did the snipe hunt about Weir Ravens.
I'll be good now.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Bitch.
I knew it was gonna happen. I was waiting for it. If it wasn't gonna be you, Glenn, it was gonna be Corey. I know. Neither of y'all could resist. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna reread the Habitat Society. Where Raven family can only be found in the heart of a dense forest. Okay, that's where it starts. They live in the hollowed out body of a great tree. Entrances into their lair is only possible from above, if one doesn't want to cut or break through the trunk itself. Okay. They keep the tree in which they nest from dying, even though they hollowed it out, so you can't recognize it from a normal tree. They recognize their bastions of good in a land dominated by evil. Okay, this is where we got the idea to do a brainstorm. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, where ravens are, now of course we're not going to do Ravenloft because that's too easy. That's way too easy.
You mean calling it Ravenloft?
No, not using Ravenloft at all.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone.
How about Bitch's Palace?
Oh God, stop.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, Kevin's gonna have fun.
Yeah, where they serve bitches brew. Got it. Anyway, yeah, you hear jazz when you walk in the door. Yeah, got it.
Bitches for witches.
Oh God, can we please stop?
Nope.
All right.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to be a bitch about it, but yeah, let's stop.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, yes, there you go.
Stop bitching, let's move on.
Yeah, quit your bitching. Anyway.
Bitch! Come on, let's go.
All right, so, area dominated by evil. Okay, what is the evil? Let's start there.
My house.
Well, we know that. Yeah.
Actually, your
poor wife, Corey.
Actually, the background you're using right now on Skype gives us a good clue. How about an abandoned monastery or temple or something like that?
Okay.
My house looks like an abandoned monastery?
No, I have a background.
Sure.
Yeah, my background.
Yeah.
I see. I got it.
I was looking at that. This is like something Dracula would.
Hey, I just picked one.
I know, but it works. It works.
I know. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to keep that.
So down from the mountain.
Okay, so
these are Were Ravens. So at one point they're normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So I would say, because of what they said, that they do them up in trees with inaccessible to the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Not an Ewok village.
No.
But the humans, when not in were form, are druids, thereby growing trees in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Keeping the trunks close enough to where they actually build a wall around a section of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they can be up in the trees.
Okay.
So it's like a wooded Stonehenge.
but even closer, almost like a druid's grove, but like tighter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Living tree palisade walls. There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh,
Living
that's
tree
cool.
Palisade walls.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Very elven thing, very Warrow thing from that other set of books.
You could do actually a caste system from there, where the higher you are in society, the higher in the trees you get to live.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That worked. We're getting a whole Were Raven village here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like it. Okay, so my whole thing is I'm getting this while we're talking, is that these Were Ravens were placed here, to more or less guard the region around this monastery. In the depths of this monastery, in its deepest, darkest cellar, is let's say a piece of an evil god thought long dead.
Okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
The kind of MacGuffin you'd have somebody stupid enough to use Mordenkainen's disjunction to try to open.
Oh.
There you go.
Only if your players are suffering from severe ADHD. But anyway.
They don't know that. I mean, they could be bad guys trying to unleash the thing that was leashed. Good guys innocently just trying to loot the ruins.
Mm-hmm.
Murder hobos doing murder hobo things. You can't stop that from happening.
So let's say within the monastery is a
or
sarcophagus.
people deliberately employed to subvert expectations by somebody evil trying to get past the good guardians to send a pocket nuke in to let the cataclysm loose without their awareness of it.
Wow. Oh, okay.
It's
that's happened. That's happened.
Inside the monastery could be a piece of a dead god, and this god could be the Egyptian equivalent of not the hounds or the eagle or the cat like bats, but maybe a raven god, where the head is of a raven.
Okay.
And the enemy, quote unquote, of this area, maybe who's hired the PCs to go here. You ready?
I'm listening.
You talk about were ravens. It's a tribe of Kenku who believe that the part of the god is their god, and they want it back. The were ravens have been sworn to protect and keep the Kenku from getting inside the monastery to retrieve, quote unquote, a piece of their god.
Okay.
Could be a whole god in a pool. Remember the lost city? What was in the bottom of the lost city
the
that
Zargon,
everybody was worshiping?
Yeah.
Everybody was worshiping something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The certain cult was worshiping.
Kenku, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe the Kenku are totally like, boom, we got to worship this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they want to set him free, but
nuts.
But it's not in the right interest to do so. Maybe this was a way for. All right, here we go. Now I've got it. I mean, I'm gonna get complicated, but this is what Brainstorm's about. Okay. Now, let's just say that this god was let's say like neutral evil most of his existence, but towards the end something happened where the evil aspect of his being he cast it out and he became more of a neutral being, and that's what the ravens worship, but they also know the dark secret that this is the essence of that god's evil, and he's locked it away. And and now they have to guard this. That basically his servants who worship this ancient Egyptian raven god, this is what their whole existence is about, guarding this one area, this one temple, to make sure that this evil doesn't ever escape. Now,
good idea.
Now,
I'm down with that.
Okay, the Kenku somehow, through the years, decades, centuries, what have you, they've gotten that whole thing twisted around. Or maybe they listened to the wrong information, or maybe even the Kenku are agents of an ambitious mage on the level of the one guy who wanted to become a god. Gargos, I think his name was. or
Yep.
whatever his name was. So, excuse me. So now the Kenku are making war upon the Were Ravens, and this battle's been going on for decades, centuries, whatever. This whole area is more or less been through legend, through story, has been passed on to the sentient beings, humans, dwarves, halflings, elves, what have you. Maybe not the elves. The elves probably know what's going on, but they avoid the area anyway because it's none of their business.
So there's like a small war going on.
Yes, and basically
in
this place is don't go here. Do not go here, because either you will lose your life or you will lose your existence. Now, losing your life means you basically get in the middle of the war between the Were Ravens and the Kenku, and one or the other might kill you. Or you lose your existence because the Were Ravens will actually recruit you, so to speak.
Right.
Because they need more numbers, because they're not quite as strong as the Kenku are. The Kenku are slowly wearing them down, and the only way they can keep everything status quo is to bring in outside help, so to speak. So now the Were Ravens have one agent who walks around in human form, who is this absolutely beautiful, gorgeous woman whose name is Raven, surprisingly enough.
You're going that on the nose, okay?
Yeah, damn right I am. And she's going around, recruiting adventuring parties. But instead, basically, her story is that for hundreds of years, we have been invaded by these Kenku. We're trying to fight them off. We've been trying to fight them off, but they're slowly wearing us down. We need help. So the whole thing is that in neutral good fashion, is that they're honest in their recruitment of player character parties, but for those who decide to go into business for themselves, they actually get ambushed by a flock of Were Ravens and get converted.
Press gang.
Okay.
Yes. And that adds to their number. So either way, they get help. I keep having to remember, Were Ravens are neutral good. They wouldn't just do it just to do it. They would only do it if who they hired wasn't who they thought they were, and they.
Couldn't they?
Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
Yeah,
go on.
I can see that. It's funny because I just did an episode of Radio Grognard about In Praise of the Free-for-All, which is player characters walking in the middle of something like that. I'm talking about recruiting stuff. They're bumbling around on the other side of the forest.
In media res?
Happen to stumble upon this war.
Yes.
Now, they can either help one side or the other because it's good, or they could do a fistful of dollars thing, Yojimbo thing, where play both sides off against the middle.
Right. And still try to get, but the whole thing is, what would the player characters get? I mean, aside from, basically maybe taking the Were Ravens money and then once again going into business for themselves. But the Were Ravens are way too smart for that. I mean, your average Were Raven is like 17 intelligence.
Right.
In order to, so I think it's more along the lines of, stumbling into it's fine, or getting hired into it is fine, but the Were Ravens would have some ways to figure out what the party they hire is actually doing. If they're working for them, fine. Basically, they'll have, wherever the party goes while they're in this forest and in this region, there's a Raven somewhere, someplace, somewhere,
Right.
And as it turns out, it's basically a monitor to make sure they're doing what they say they're going to do. And the second they decide, let's take advantage of this situation, let's get rich, or whatever they're going to do, as soon as they start to betray the Ravens, that's when, they're asleep in the forest and they get ambushed by a whole flock of Were Ravens with other Ravens as well. So they don't know what's real, what's not, and there's a good chance that one or two of their number are going to get converted by getting pecked. Getting pecked by were ravens, because there's like a 2% chance per point of damage they inflict, which adds up. Because I'm looking at how much damage they inflict with their beak, it's like 2 to 12. So that's like 4 to 24% right there. Go ahead.
So this to them they're neutral good, but to them the ends justify the means.
Yes, because they do not want. In the end, they have to keep that evil part of their god right where it is, and they have to keep the Kenku away from it. Now, let's take it a step further in regards to the Kenku. Who's the power behind them?
Right.
Evil wizard?
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, that's about as easy as it goes.
So it doesn't even have to be anything like that.
Or even I would say even an evil cleric of possibly, let's go this route. Okay. Let's go this route. The power behind the Kenku is a former priest of the Raven God who used to be evil. And he had a fundamental disagreement with what his god did, which caused him to lose his powers, of course, because, you do not question the ways of the gods, because it will go badly for you. And he felt a betrayal, and now he either wants to take that power for himself, or in a twisted version of love and worship for the god, he wants to release it and return it to his god to be what the god was before. How about that?
Right. Okay, that works.
Okay.
Yep, I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. So, in the end, the only way to resolve this situation, of course, is either to wipe out all the Kenku, or which could take God only knows how long, as long as the DM wants it to, I guess, or to go after the priest who's in charge of, who's basically in charge of this whole situation, who's caused this whole situation.
So that's the basic problem right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think one more thing we should add is there should be some kind of town or something that is near here that gets kind of screwed over or caught up in this whole mess. Maybe not directly, but kind of indirectly.
I would say it's sort of I'm sorry to dominate this whole thing, but ideas are coming out of my head.
That's all right.
They're spilling out of my head like water. It's crazy.
I'm just like adding the spice
here.
Of
course.
Let's run some of the basic geography of what we got going on here. We need a mountain, we need a monastery, we need a forest.
Massive forest.
So let's go with the massive forest surrounds the mountain.
Okay.
The monastery is on the top, the peak of the mountain.
Okay.
And you can either make that path accessible, or we can go something along the lines of, the monastery on top of the plateau that you see in Bond films and in Kingsman, that type of thing.
Okay.
And that cliffside pillar column would be an excellent area for Kenku to live in. And have their underground cave complex of airy wall caves, whatever, in the inaccessible pillar. So you can't really get them out. They're not really in. They're separated from the ravens. They're at the base of the monastery. The ravens are trying to disrupt the Kenku from accessing the ruins at the top of the peak or pillar. And that peak or pillar and mountain is fed to or connected to the nearby civilization of people, of whatever the people stripe is. And we can do that on a mountain trail, a mountain pass, or down by a mountain lake.
I was going to say you could even do, since you brought it up first, it's a town that's close by, which are their main exports lumber. They've been chopping into the woods and getting a little too close to the scary.
to the action, so to speak.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
their job is to cut down trees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One more thought.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I can wait.
No, wait on you. So,
Oh, no, full on.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, okay. One more thing. On either side, what kind of monsters of a similar alignment can these two sides recruit to help? Like, say, the were-ravens can get, say, were-bears or some kind of other good aligned
friendly
creatures?
friendly weirds, yes.
Yeah, friendly wares, friendly like was it bronze dragons that are lawful good? What's one of the lawful good dragons?
Well, silver, gold.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
maybe they befriended one.
Okay. Well, okay, silver dragon.
And I'm just saying one.
I was just saying one. Just left her parents' lair. She is probably juvenile. I'll say juvenile. Just about to turn young adult, let's say. Just about to mature a little bit. So basically, while the party's wandering around in the woods, they every once in a while, only one of the party, none of them ever see it, but see, like, every once in a while you see this little girl hiding behind a tree and peeking out at them. This little girl, this pretty little girl with silver hair. And, well, not a little girl, let's say a girl like 13, 14, let's say. And she's a little naive in the ways of the world. Like I said, she's fresh out of her parents' lair, and trying to make her own way in the world. And of course, being a dragon, she's exceedingly smart, but she's a little bit naive
and curious.
Yeah. And extremely curious, especially about humans and demi-humans. But she's run into this situation where there's where you have basically a neutral good force over here and a neutral force over here that's been either deceived, lied to, or somehow pressed into service, and they're fighting each other. And she knows that that's not right, but she's trying to she's basically trying to more or less diffuse the situation, but she doesn't have the wherewithal to do it. She's just a kid, more or less.
Right.
In dragon terms, she's just a kid.
This is this is a good thing, because all these kind of situations where you got kind of a war going on, you have to have one unpredictable thing to put in the middle of this that could turn it either way.
Right.
A loose cannon, whatever you want to call it. Usually it's the PCs.
Yeah, well, the PCs are almost always the loose cannon. Unless
the unknown factor.
Yeah, the X factor, if you will. Yes. But yeah, so now you've got the actual conflict itself, the reasons behind the conflict. You've got the human sort of the human settlement that's a logging area. Basically that's their main export is logging, but they're now gone enough into the forest over the years where now they're on the fringes of this ongoing war going on,
right.
And their loggers are almost always in danger. So that's another way the party can be hired in to escort the loggers or to guard them while they work.
Yeah. And you hope the Corinne didn't throw in with them.
So
I could see a dryad little influence going on in here too. If you want to keep going with the excesses of logging going in to threaten the were-raven habitat as they try to hold their skirmish line of surrounding this temple. The monastery is on this peak because physically the peak is important. The location at the top of the peak or pillar is literally a nexus where the gate opens, the gate closes, the thing happens. It is the nexus point, and it physically has to be up in this odd location, which is why it would have been built there in the first place to affect the binding. Maybe the reason it's in ruins is it was in the course of the battle that did the binding, it went boom, and maybe, or the Silver Dragon's parents were the ones part of that process, and the little Silver Dragon just plays in the ruins every once in a while. I mean, she can get there.
You can you can also add the whole keep on the Borderlands aspect, since the Kenku are trying to get into the area and the Were-Ravens are protecting it, and they have the allies of the other Wares and possibly a dragon. When the Were-Ravens found out what was in that temple at the top of the mountain peak, they kicked out a couple tribes of Gnolls. And the Kenku have made an agreement with the Gnolls. You help us,
there we go.
We'll give you back the temple.
Okay.
So now the Gnolls are trying to keep the humans out of their business. Humans hire the PCs to come in and get rid of their Gnoll problem in the woods. That'll help bring them in.
Yeah, that's the little problem that turns into a bigger problem.
Layers on layers on layers. I like this.
I like that because to me the war has to be like almost totally balanced. One side can't make a headway, the other side can't. Then the PCs come in.
Right.
Correct.
Well, I think.
And if you want,
go ahead.
We could throw a little bit of a ticking clock element in there too, because the whole reason the location of the monastery was important for the binding of the God fragment has to do with a conjunction.
Well, you gotta wait, Marcus. I'm
moon
not done
conjunction,
yet.
stellar conjunction, planetary conjunction. Well, an alignment has to
see
happen.
what we
The
can
stars
do.
have to be right.
We don't have a lot.
And when
Daddy's
the
not
thing
going to
is
order anything.
right,
Not today.
weird shit happens. It increasingly get worse until the next point.
Okay?
Then it goes away until the next one comes around. So it's a recurring problem, but conceivably, if they can hold the line, no progress happens either way. You get a minor win out of it because you stop the release from happening until next time. Without causing an automatic cataclysm to destroy the world.
To add to your ticking clock, what would the PC show up in town, and one of the local cleric there is worried because David, the lumberjack, keeps turning into strange creature at a certain time of the month, and they need them to figure out how to stop it because he's been press gang, but he escaped the area.
Yeah.
But also now but the thing is now he's like, I have to go, I have to go. They have him like chained up somewhere. They're like, help him. And of course, when it comes to lycanthropy, it's all up to the DM whether it can be cured or not. Also,
essentially pulling a Renfield with him.
Exactly.
I must go. Yep.
Yeah.
Return of the Vampire.
Hold it, Glenn. Fall on. Before we continue, fall on.
Yeah.
Can you sketch this area, please?
Maybe.
Okay.
What do you think? Again, somebody help me isolate this idea. Are we going with the elevator accessible pillar, or are we going with the Ravenloft style winding mountain path to a peak?
I'm thinking a very, very difficult to navigate path to get to the top of the mountain, because the majority of beings who could get to this without any problem were, of course, the Were-Ravens. And they can fly.
I don't think there should be any entrance to the actual citadel itself. I think the only way in is to fly in.
Okay.
So
that's where we go more with the plateau pedestal.
Yes.
Literally the perimeter of the perimeter of the tower top of the. I mean, I'm saying all this wrong. Basically, you all seen James Bond. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
It is a monastery on top of a pillar that is accessible for mundane people only by elevator or climbing.
Right. Climbing. Not even an elevator, climbing. Because
you can fly in.
Because the majority of worshippers of this god were the Were-Ravens. They could fly in. Or at least this new aspect of the god. They could fly in. Yes.
I hesitate to throw one more ingredient into the stew here.
Throw it in. Come on.
But you mentioned the forest. You mentioned dryads.
Yes.
How do the Treants feel about all this?
They're not so happy with the loggers. That's their main concern. more than anything else. If they have humans coming in and cutting down trees in their forest, or at least what they think is, or their side of the forest, or their area of the forest,
we don't need to necessarily overwhelm the party. We're not having to reenact the freaking Lord of the Rings here, but there could be a treant.
Okay, one is good.
A treant has a sector of the forest that is under their domain.
Mm-hmm.
A dryad has a sector of the forest that is under their domain.
Mm-hmm.
The loggers are kind of going through a crack in the middle and haven't been directed to go around. If they go around this way, they run into the dryad. If they go around that way, they run into the treant. That's why they're going through this way, where all they got is a bunch of birds in the way.
Right, and the problem is those birds are either taking their people or they're trying to kill them. Either one of the two.
And that also affects the towns because logging is the town's main industry, and you take that away. And
but also, we can also go this route if you want to. Every time that let's put it this way, there are like 3 major logging areas that they go to. One is at the edge of the treants area of domain. One is at the Dryad's area of edge of her domain, and like Falon said, right up the middle and past both domains is where the battle is going on. So if you go to area 1, they keep getting this big tree who's like, do not cut down the forest. And they don't know what to do about it. Over here, they have a different problem, although with some loggers it's not that much of a problem. They have, sometimes when they go over to area number 2, they have every 3 to 6 months or so, one of their guys goes missing and they don't see him for almost a year.
Dave's back. Why does Dave always want to eat worms?
Why is it? No, Dave's back. Why does Dave have this big smile on his face?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing about Dryads. In order for them to perpetuate, they have to charm and kidnap males, mate with them for 6 to 12 months or something like that, or 4 to 6 months, and then once the Dryad reproduces, they let them go. So, but the problem is, Dave was married with kids, and now, his wife is really pissed off because Dave's been gone for a while.
And the Dryad is suing for
paternity,
child support.
A paternity suit, yes.
Just a thought.
Yeah, so but that's okay. Whenever we come up with these brainstorms, we don't come up with just adventures. We come up with campaigns or mini campaigns at the very least. So. My whole thing is how it doesn't matter how many monkey. Yeah, exactly. How many monkey wrenches we throw in there, it doesn't matter because it's all for adventure.
Now the logger's angle would be how I would start it.
Mm-hmm.
The logger's problem, which is a human problem. Then you can get into the monster supernatural stuff.
Right. Yeah, and the party finds out that what was to be something of a simple job isn't so simple.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could see this going from let's say party starts out at level 3 when they come into the. Yeah, I know. It happens to me all the time. I get my letters mixed up.
All right, starty parts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They start out at level 3. They come into the area. It's like they get hired for the logger problem. And then they find out, let's see, there's a treant over here who's mad because the humans are cutting down their forest. There's a Dryad over here who's haunting the forest and kidnapping a logger every once in a while.
So the PC's got to figure out some way to get those two and some agreement with the town.
Yes.
And in the meantime, they discover what the hell's going on up here with the were-ravens. So that works for me.
That's exactly it. So
there we
that's
go.
How it's
it's
just like Night Below, where you start off going up against bandits and goblins and stuff, and then you just keep finding out that there's something else going on, and more often than not, the party cannot resist. They cannot help themselves. They're going to get a little bit deeper involved.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, nice, Corey. That's really cool. And then they find themselves all of a sudden like, oh, what, seventh, eighth level by the time this whole thing kind of, is coming towards its end, where at some point they realize that they're going to probably have to take out the evil priest to get this whole thing to just settle,
Right.
and or at least at the very least find evidence that the Kenku have been lied to by this human, and force them to quit the field, or not force them, but if they find out they've been lied to, they'll quit the field, and now your big bad priest guy is bereft of his support, and you can go after him.
I got a thing. I got a thing that we're missing.
Okay,
we need an actual evil, aside from just the evil priest.
Okay.
We need an actual cataclysmic or disastrous event that is percolating and causing the critical juncture of all these conflicts to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The pillar that the monastery is on top of is also a mausoleum, in the fact that the walls of the pillar itself have the catacomb slots for storing the bodies of the faithful of the church.
Okay.
And as this conjuncture countdown clocks in, it starts manifesting in animating the occupants of those mausoleums, starting at the top and then working their way down as it spreads. The closer it gets to the nexus, or if the gate gets unsealed, it just all happens at once, but it starts with a few get animated, and then further down another layer gets animated, and further down another layer gets animated, as it just expands like a balloon from this monastery on top of a pillar. And what you're getting is juju zombies.
Okay.
So we got an army.
Because they climb walls, and they can spider climb their way off of the tower. Or they can just dwarf ball it and walk off, and then resume. They roll out of bed, plummet 300 feet, and finally reanimate.
Wow.
And then they are spreading out into the forest.
So we got a real
army.
We got a real Army of the Dead thing going.
Yeah, and if the seal is broken or the nexus thing happens, that's when everybody in the tower is awake and they just run off. If nothing happens and it returns, they just return to their beds and go back to sleep until the next cycle, unless the seal is broken, which just cuts them loose and they run rampant and leave the mountain.
Right.
And you have Army of Darkness infestation of undead.
And then we have Relay Rising and Cthulhu coming out, and
dogs and cats living with each other. Got it.
Mass hysteria.
Exactly. Okay. All right. That works. That works for me.
Hey, nothing says fun like you're sitting there at the bottom of this pillar looking up, figuring out how the hell are we going to get up there. Anybody got a fly spell? Looking at the thief, and I ain't climbing that. And suddenly you hear a whistle, a whistling scream, and something you hear a plop. And they look at, what the hell was that? And then the plop gets up and goes, and charges at them.
Nice.
Yeah, so, okay. So,
anyway.
So, yeah, at some point, the Weir Ravens understand they know what's going on. That's the other reason why they're trying to drive the Kenku out, because maybe even they have the way to stop it, but they're too busy fighting for their own survival. Maybe. So there are various reasons and various whys and wherefores for all this to come together, and once again, it's the party in the end who affects what happens. And this is where legends are made. Go ahead.
Okay. There you go, folks. Plopped it right in your lap. Do something with it.
We finished.
And if you like it, don't like it, think it's meh, give us a ring at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Or a ring somewhere else, like on a phone.
6450555.
There we go. Thank you. I knew that'd come. Yeah, we got to close this splat, folks. We were having fun, but,
all good things must come to an end. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Say
Zombie
goodbye,
infect a treant. Can a juju zombie infect a dryad, and what do you get afterwards?
I don't even want that. That's the
You get full on behind a screen is what you get.
Laughing.
Say goodbye, Brian.
And just remember, folks, if you happen to see a dark-haired beauty walking around your village, asking for strong heroes. Don't just get taken in by the pretty face. Ask questions.
Full on.
We're hiring. Let's go out adventuring. Who wants to join into our legion?
I'm sorry. It's that's a byproduct of the pandemic, folks. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Full on our service recruiter here. Yeah. Corey, you want to say bye?
Folks, thanks for joining us again on another THACO's Hammer. Don't forget about Mordecai's Disjunction. Just don't abuse the spell, or your DM will disjunction your character sheet out of your hands.
Or release the Eldritch Horror under your feet.
That is very true.
Which is kind of what just happened to Corey. What's going to happen to Corey's game?
Well, yeah, and be kind, otherwise a were-raven may show up saying, "Nevermore, bitch!"
Ouch.
So,
my chest.
And this is DM Glen saying, I'll see you next time when the hammer comes out on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye.
The pillar is really a roper that somebody cast enlarge on and then stoned to flesh.
Oh, shut up.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.